Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Happy trash, for me, recycling day. Don't worry, the bins are on the curb. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Bins are on the curb. Took them out. I forgot trash day last week because I think, oh yeah, last week I forgot trash day. I didn't forget about it. I just decided I'll take the trash bin out after the show because it's trash day. It's if I miss a trash day, it's no big deal. Because I had flown back, landed Tuesday afternoon. Then we went out to dinner with friends Tuesday night. And I'm like, I'll do it in the morning. Guess what I didn't do? Take the trash out. So took the trash to the curb and the recycling to the curb last night. Both were filled. And I'm thinking, garbage won't be filled because I was gone for a week. So that's half the trash. We don't really throw trash away. It's more recycling. But it was full. But a lot of that has to do with a lot of purging. I've been purging over the last few days since I was given the deadline. It's coming up. So our house is on the market. I don't think it's live yet. It's my wife had her office, real estate office had their weekly meeting yesterday. So she presented our house, letting them know, here's what's coming up, here's what's going on the market, my house. So one of the realtors said, do the baseball cards come with it? I'm like, whoa, hey, no baseball cards. And then one of the ladies said, does biscuit come with it? No biscuit, no baseball cards. So pictures happen, I think Monday. So pretty much, I am gonna have to clean because the deep cleaning ladies don't come until next Friday. So I'm gonna have to vacuum down here because I made a mess. That's what I hate. Bobbleheads that are in styrofoam. I hate. Can we eliminate styrofoam? I hate styrofoam. It's messy. And look at me. Look at me. Pot, meat, kettle, styrofoam messy. I'm messy. Add them together. Oof. I hate styrofoam. So I got a lot of styrofoam because I brought the bobbleheads boxes to put those away. So the bobbleheads are in. I just got to, my wife's got to stage it. So I basically gave her an empty slate, and then she's going to be like, okay, I need this, this, and this. So that's what's going on. I realized, I thought, as I've got 30 quarter boxes, I'm down. I've made several trips. I think I'm down to 6 or 8 left in the back of my car because I've got to get them out because I've got to put all the bulk in. I've got a bulk sale coming up that I'm dumping off some cards on this Friday. And I'm like, the closet over here used to be jam packed. But I was going through it for bulk, a couple months ago. So I'm like, oh, I've got plenty of room in the closet. No, I don't. It's as packed as ever. I think from the last 2 Goodwill pallets, I've been putting boxes in there from that I don't necessarily want to just bulk out yet. Crap. Maybe I should have got that storage unit. No, I have plenty of space. I just have to play Tetris. So I'm going to have to play Tetris here over the next few days to get boxes. And I want to make sure I'm putting them all in the same space. I don't want to have my quarter boxes 7 here, 7 there, 7 there, 7 there. I want them in the same spot. But putting 30 4-row boxes in the same spot is tricky. So that's what I'm up to. Where are we at in the chat? Good morning, Terry. What's up? Cooter in the house. Ed is here. What's up? David, good morning. Dan, what's happening? Jenny says, here I thought we were talking eBay. We're talking trash. Yep, you are at the correct place. I'm going to talk about the frozen pizza I ate last night. Victor, good morning. Boston Smoke is here. Harlan says, good morning. How to scale, right? Yes. How to scale. We'll touch on scaling. Woods and Water, what's up? Good morning. Coming soon is the best feature for realtors. Most people have tons of offers by the live date. Well, and here's the thing. We have 2 potential buyers already. Like before my wife even drafted the listing, a realtor that actually lives in our neighborhood called and said, "Hey, I've got a potential buyer for your house." And so that is what my wife, like, okay, it's March, whatever it was, 18th. It's time to get this on the market listed. So yeah, and I'm like, holy crap, we have a potential buyer. And she's like, actually, there's 2. Another realtor reached out, and I'm like, oh my God. So hopefully the offers swim in, we get what we want, all that good stuff. Kevin, what's up? Good morning. Catch the end of the WBC last night. Yes, I did. What a great, yeah, Dan says great WBC final. The only World Baseball, well, I watched some like while I was at spring training, but first game that I actually like watched, my wife went to go see the Indigo Girls last night with some girlfriends. And so I was on the couch drinking beer, eating frozen pizza, not on the couch, and watching the World Baseball Classic. And I turned it off. I was ready for bed. You know, I'm early to bed guy. So I turned it off, I think in the 8th inning, went upstairs, took the dog out, went upstairs, brushed my teeth, all that stuff. And then guess what I was doing? I was zombie on my phone before bed. Phone, Twitter, Facebook. I was doing that. I was much better though yesterday. I was cognizant of what I talked about yesterday during the show about me being a zombie looking at my phone. Somebody made a comment, I need an intervention. I do. But I'm cognizant enough to realize there's a problem. So I was listing and listing. I was shipping and listing and shipping and listing. I got caught up. Not just caught up to like under 100 items to ship, like caught up to 0 items to ship. Now I'm back to 40. But you know, as long as I can keep up, those overnight sales, man, they just come in. I love it though. I love waking up and 42 notifications from eBay. So I was much better with my zombie on my phone, and I would like pick up my phone, like I'd be waiting for like an upload and all of a sudden I would just grab my phone, like it's just like automatic, like, oh, I have 3 seconds of downtime. I'm going to look at my phone. Like that's where we're at. That's where I'm at. So I recognize that. And it's like, God dang it. Put the freaking phone down. Yes, to myself. So I was much better. But last night before bed, I'm glad I was zombified before bed with my phone, because I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see all this Trout versus Ohtani for the game. And I'm like, whoa. So I flip it on. Holy moly. 3-2 ball game. Of course, that's what it was when I went to bed. But we're in the 9th inning. Japan 3, US 2. US to bat with, what was it, their 9-1-2 hitters up? Mike Trout with 2 outs versus his teammate, Shohei Ohtani. What? Ohtani versus Trout for the World Baseball Classic Championship. That was must-see TV. I'm glad that I was zombified and I saw Twitter and I turned it over. I think I had friends on, and I turned on the World Baseball Classic to see the end. Japan wins, but it was fun. It was fun. Where are we at? Let's see. Dan says, tomorrow I'm moving one of my big aquariums from the baseball card hobby room to the living room. That sounds like a lot of work. Let's see. I think aquariums in general require a lot of work. Steve, what's up? Good morning to you. You will always play Tetris until you get one box type and size. I got an email because I went to Uline just to get, I cannot find, and I've Googled multiple times, like cardboard boxes, paper manufacturers in Madison, like a local company. I can't find anything. I went to Uline, and this has been a couple weeks ago, like right after Cooter and I had our conversation. But of course now they're targeting me because I had logged in. I have a login with Uline. So now they have my email address. And yesterday I get an email address from, guess what? Cardboard boxes. We've got these on sale. Nice targeted marketing. So I clicked it. Yeah, I clicked the link. And so now I just got to figure out. They had some good prices, but it's like I don't know. I don't have my tape measure down here. I got to figure out like the sizes because I know what size I want. I just don't know what size it actually is numerically. Like I know I know I have the boxes that I want to use that are perfect or nearly if they're a little smaller, it'll work. So I am looking at that. Let's see. Dan says, I assume a realtor's license is only good for the state you get it in. Yes, correct. Let's see. Kevin says, beer and pizza is what I had too. Can't beat that. John, that 70s card show. What's happening? Would you accept a lower offer on the house if you guys didn't have to do any organizing, staging? No, because that's what my wife does. So no, we would definitely, and it wouldn't. Here's the thing with like the organization and staging, like we don't like that's my wife does that. Like she doesn't pay a company. Sometimes she does, but for the most part, she does that. And like it's not worth like it would be like so little effect on dollar wise. So no, we would not. Cooter says he's a big game Mike Trout. Wah wah. Guess what? Shohei Ohtani had 3 more WAR than Trout last year. I looked it up when Cooter said something last night, and I looked it up. I think Ohtani's WAR last year was like, was it not? It was 9 or 6, and Trout's was like 6 or 3 in 2022. I didn't go back further because Ohtani's had some injury issues. So, but there you go for your WAR. Let's see. Jenny says, waiting for an upload and have spare minutes. Those spare minutes could do wonders if you go organize Tetris under those stairs. That's the thing. It takes so much time because it's not just organized. It's not what I have under the stairs. It's not just moving boxes around. It's like sorting because they're sorted, but they're unsorted. And that's my problem for not like completely sorting from the get-go. But that's also good because say Bowman, for example, say it's 2020. I don't know. I can't remember Wander Franco or Jason Dominguez. Those were like the hot right out of the gate. But there's always guys that are hot now that weren't hot then. So you sell what's hot, Jason Dominguez, Wander Franco, first Bowman cards. You sell that stuff, and then you sit on the rest. And 3 years later, you go back in. That's a lot of what's in there. It's not, there's some Bowman, but it's a lot of like junk. But there's some like, I'm just looking, 88 tops, 89 tops. Like there's stuff now that I'm doing, and a lot of that was put away and sorted before I was doing this full time and realized there's actually a market for some of that stuff. Otherwise it wouldn't, but if there's like Bowman in there, who knows, there could be first Chrome Julio Rodriguez in there. I don't know. So that's why I have to go through some of that stuff. Good morning, Kyle. What's up? Watched the last inning of the WBC. First time I ever watched Trout or Ohtani. What a game. It was fun. Not interested in the WBC unless bigger bases were used. John. But I do want to address that type of thought, not regarding bases, but regarding the pitch clock. And here's the thing. People are like, nobody cares about the pitch clock tonight, huh? Guess what? It's the freaking World Baseball Classic championship game. Come back to me on June 2nd when it's the Angels and Blue Jays on June 2nd. And tell me what your thoughts are on a pitch clock. Of course, there are going to be games where it's like, we don't need a pitch clock, but there are 162 regular season games. We need a damn pitch clock. We need a damn pitch clock. Let's see. I'm also impatient. That's the reason that I broadcasted high school softball and would rather do high school softball and high school baseball. In fact, that's why my dream of being a play-by-play announcer for the Chicago Cubs was wiped away after the first game I ever broadcasted of high school baseball because I knew what it would take to get to that level. Not just Cubs, but minor league or, a much higher level of baseball. I would have to broadcast a lot of this garbage that I was broadcasting that day. And I didn't want to do it. It's like, you know what? I don't want it, kind of like my non-weight loss journey. I could shed a few pounds, but I don't want to put it. Do I want to shed a few pounds? Yes. Do I want to put in the work or the diet that requires that at this point in my life? No. There may be a time that and I know that's very stubborn of me, which, hey, I'll be the first to admit I'm super stubborn, but I didn't want to put in the work to be a Chicago Cubs play-by-play announcer. Now that I'm 40 and I'm much wiser, maybe not much. Well, if you would have known me at 20, yeah, I am much wiser. Thank God I'm not in baseball. Thank God I'm not in baseball. They have to work every day in the sun. And that's a grind. Hats off if you work in professional baseball. That's a grind. So is selling $1.50 cards on eBay, which is what we're going to talk about today. But summer baseball, man, spring baseball, summer baseball, fall baseball. Baseball's a grind, man. I don't know how they do, but you do it. You do it for you love your job, whatever. People don't know how I sell baseball cards. Johnny Boy Cards, what's up? Good morning. Kevin says WBC is going to be great for baseball. I think it grew on the people that were talking smack about it. Maybe not. It did seem to get more love this year than in previous years. I know there was a lot of hype when it first came out. What was the first year? 2006. I interviewed Derek Jeter when ahead of the first World Baseball Classic when I worked in radio. Here's how this went down. I was working in radio, and I had built a relationship with a publicist, or I don't know an agent or whoever, whatever the guys do that they book their clients on media, on TV and radio. So I got to interview some really cool people through this contact, and the World Baseball Classic was coming up, and he had an opportunity, only five opportunities to interview Derek Jeter. 5-minute interview. And I get the email. I'm like, reply. Yes, I'm in. And this guy responds. I think his name was Alex. Alex responds back. He's like, hey, I'm sorry, you were actually the 6th. And I'm like, wah, wah. Story of my life, right? Just missed out. He's like, but I can get you Reggie Jackson. And I'm like, well, hell, yeah, I want to interview Reggie Jackson. Like, hell yeah, that's a great consolation prize. That might even be better than Jeter. So I'm like, yeah, I'll interview Reggie Jackson. And then 20 minutes later, he emails back and he's like, hey, change of plans. We've actually got time. I can get you in with Jeter. I'm like, can I still get Reggie? So I got to interview Derek Jeter. I was never really nervous. I was probably more nervous interviewing the old ladies talking about the annual fun day, because I didn't know the subject. But I knew the World Baseball Classic, baseball, and Jeter and the Yankees and all that. The only thing I wish I still had. I don't have any of my old audio interviews, and I interviewed some awesome baseball players. But what I do remember from that interview, I got tongue-tied at the very beginning. So it was a recorded interview. We were at noon or whenever it was in the day, and I introduced him, and I got tongue-tied, and I introduced him as Derek Jeter. And I think I did correct. I think Derek Jeter. So I did get a little tongue-tied. The rest of the interview was great. And Derek Jeter was an awesome interview. He was really polite and answered the questions, and he was a good interview. That was ahead of the first World Baseball, which I think was 06, 07, somewhere in that vicinity. I was doing morning radio, so it would have been before 08. I listed some World Baseball Classic cards, and I think they were 06 Upper Deck, so I think that lines up. Cooter says Schwarber's last at bat was incredible, fought off strikes until he got his pitch. I love Kyle Schwarber. Man, I miss him in a Cubs uniform. I'm still pissed off that they let him walk and then they signed Jock Peterson. And they were at the time like identical players, like statistically. And it's like Schwarber is beloved and he gives you the exact same stuff as Jock Peterson. He has like he's a clubhouse dude. Everybody loves him, teammates and fans alike, and you ditch him. F and A. Oh, it pisses me off. Pisses me off. I miss Kyle Schwarber. WBC will be lost on most Americans like the World Cup. I agree with that. Because I think it's great, but I didn't watch it until last night. Last night was really the first game that I watched. But I still think it's great for the game of baseball. Terry says, have you checked Lowe's or Home Depot? They both have various size of moving boxes with decent prices. I see moving boxes are too big. I want like smaller I want like, of course I don't have one that I want to show, but I want smaller boxes. Basically, if anybody's familiar with the eBay supplies, which by the way, first quarter is coming to a close. So if you have an eBay store, this is your reminder to use your free supply coupon, which I still need to do. I was checking because I'm like, oh, if I have enough bubble mailers, I'm going to buy or use my supply coupon for those boxes because they're perfect. They fit. It's basically the boxes on eBay, and I think they only have the one size box. I could probably go and find it right now, and I could get the size that I need. But it fits perfectly like a 4-row plus. So basically you can fit 3,000 to 4,000 cards in these eBay boxes. And this is what I've been using. I had bought them because back when I had my store and I wasn't really using as many supplies because I was doing it part-time. I had so many bubble mailers that I would buy one quarter. I would buy a big size bubble mailer. And then it's like, well, I've got too many bubble mailers, which then it's never too many. It's like, well, I'm going to get these boxes, and I never use the boxes. So finally I'm like, you know what? I could use the 4-row boxes for like my Cubs collection. So then I started dumping, like when I would sort out of a 4-row box, if it was junk to be bulked out, I would put these in the eBay boxes. So that's what I've been using the eBay boxes for. And it's actually perfect. Like with Cooter's idea, that's the size I need, but they're a little expensive. If I bought them through eBay, I want to get a cheap price on them. So yeah, use your eBay supply coupon before March 31st. So I'm going to I did a little inventory and I'm like, how many bubble mailers do I have? And it's like, oh crap, I'm down to like 30. So that won't get me through another quarter. Got to order more bubble mailers. I basically been going through my allotment, my $50 coupon of bubble mailers each quarter. Where are we at? Terry says, we got to that. John says, your wife ain't cleaning up the cards. Oh yeah. So the cards, I would not take a less offer on the house because I can clean up the cards. Let's see. Exactly like the World Cup. Liquor store for moving boxes, free out the back. Let's see. Kevin says, but I love seeing other countries playing baseball. It'll eventually help the sport out. But here I'll counter that with, I don't think that'll help the sport out. Kind of like soccer has been like, this is the next big sport for like 40 years and maybe more than 40 years. Like when I was growing up in the 80s, like we would play recess soccer, and I just remember it was soccer in the metric system was coming to America. Be prepared. America's moving to the metric system. Soccer is going to be the new sport. And guess what? Here we are 30 years later, 35 years later, and very few people still Very few people use the metric system and in their everyday lives and watch soccer. Let's see. John says his wife is a realtor. She most likely knows people who have just moved and are dying to get rid of moving boxes. Yes. Let's see. You making excuses here. Just try out spending those few minutes under the stairs instead of the phone. It will progress slowly. But slowly is not, I don't have time. Like, I literally don't have the time to go through that stuff. Just think of how long it takes to go through a 4-row box. And then multiply that by like 300. I don't know. There's a lot of boxes in there. So that stuff's just going to get moved. Let's see. Steve says, don't like moving boxes. I want my boxes to stand still. Good morning, Red Light 34 in the house. By the way, if you have any eBay questions, I've got a few that I'm going to touch on today. One was through a strategy. I've adjusted strategies, just at least in the interim. And I'm going to tell you why I've adjusted my listing strategy. I also want to share some numbers. I'm going to break down the numbers because I didn't even realize the numerical breakdown. When I listed some cards, and all of a sudden I got this offer that came in. And I'm like, I just listed these 10 minutes ago. I'm not going to take this offer. I ended up taking the offer, and I'm glad I did because I'm going to break down the numbers and I'm going to show you the difference. If you think it's a low ball offer, it's not. Well, maybe it might not be when we're talking volume. So I'm going to share those numbers. And I'm going to talk about organization. Or hey, we're going to keep on the organization kick because I did take somebody sent me an email asking about organization and just if I were to scale up and hire somebody to do my shipping, how would they easily pull, pack, and ship cards? So many of you who watch day in, day out know my organization strategy, but I'll just kind of share it again because I know I have some new subscribers that may not know my system. Let's see. John says baseball has been the national sport of many countries for a very long time. It hasn't been in the USA for decades. I would agree with that. It's much bigger in Japan, Taiwan, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, much more so. And that's why when people see on TV, oh, if Major League Baseball, why can't they get it to it's not Major League Baseball. It's the fans. We have too many, like in those countries. What do we watch in America? What's the king sport in America? American football. What's not in the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Japan, Taiwan? American football. And in other sports that we have just so much going on that, not only do we have short attention spans, baseball's not a short attention span sport. Imagine trying to use the shift against Japanese players who can place the ball wherever they want to. Paul, good morning. $1 out of 15 cents. Good morning to you. Cooter says 3.5 hour World Baseball Classic game made me a bigger pitch clock fan. And there's the what I saw like on social media was nobody's complaining about the pitch or we don't need a pitch clock tonight. Well, no, of course not, because it's a huge game. But on the other hand, you have Cooter, 3.5 hour game. We need the pitch clock. You're more Budweiser, less much wiser. You could say that. Unless you knew me at 20. I was a lot of Budweiser back when I was 20. In fact, Budweiser was what I purchased on my 21st birthday. And I've never been a Budweiser drinker. But for whatever reason, on my 21st birthday, the first beer I legally purchased as a 21-year-old was Budweiser. And I think it was the Budman. I think it was the Budweiser distributor, was standing there at the liquor store. It was at West. Where's James? I was at West Pierce Liquors. There's a Macomb reference. I don't even think, does it exist anymore? I haven't been to Macomb in like 7 years. Anyway, I was at West Pierce Liquors. and which was just down the road from my apartment at the time when I turned 21. And I bought a 12-pack of Budweiser. And I got carded, of course, because I was a baby-faced 21-year-old, and handed over my ID. The guy says, "Oh, it's your 21st birthday." And then the Bud man looked and he's like, "And you got Budweiser. That's impressive." Why do we remember stupid shit like that? But I remember Budweiser, my first purchase as a 21-year-old. My eBay question isn't a seller side, but buyer. I am still thinking on what Rich was trying to explain about having a COMC account if buying on eBay too. I need to give him a call. So what he was, because I saw the conversation. So what he means is you should have a COMC if you want. So if you're on eBay and you see a Miguel Sano purple refractor, but it's listed by COMC, you will get it cheaper on COMC as opposed to buying it on eBay. You're going to pay higher shipping and it's going to be at a higher price. Plus, you can make an offer on COMC where I don't think offers are open on eBay. Rich can explain that. But if you see a Miguel Sano that you like on eBay and it's listed by COMC, go to COMC, have a login registration with COMC, look for that Miguel Sano and buy it off the COMC website because you will save money buying it from COMC as opposed to buying it from COMC on eBay. So that's what he was trying to explain. Mark Hoyle in the house. What's up? Good morning. Let's see. Where are we at? John says, last time I was nervous was when Shirley Manson sat on my toolbox in a mini skirt in 1995. Oh boy. Garbage, by the way, is playing. So I think 2 of the members of Garbage live here in Madison. Butch Vig and what's the other guy's name? John can help me out. Is it Duke? Because I think it's Butch. I know Butch's neighbors, and they're an older couple. And we were at I think it was a Passover, and the lady who's Butch Vig's neighbor from Garbage shared a story that when Butch moved into the house or whatever, they had their the awkward small talk with a new neighbor. And Butch says, "Yeah, I'm in Garbage." And she goes, "I thought he was a trash man because he said I was in Garbage." Shirley Manson. I think, are they on like a are they on like a reunion tour? I think Shirley was part of, and I think they're playing in Madison with Shirley. And I know Butch and I think it's Duke, part of Garbage. They still perform. But Shirley hasn't performed with them. Victor, good morning. Kyle should be a Cub. Agreed. Kyle Schwarber deserves to be in a Cub uniform. John says 2 Phillies showed up last night. Rest of the league was sleeping. Card Hobbyist, what's up? Good morning. John says Peterson has a higher career WAR. What is it good for? Oh, you're throwing WAR back in my face, which is all anyone cares about these days. Where do you find your eBay supply coupon? Hey, frequently asked what? That's a great question. So if you're in eBay, go to the My eBay tab, go to selling. Hey, wouldn't it be great if I used my eBay or my StreamYard subscription for this? So go to My eBay, go down to selling, then go to store. Under the Seller Hub. So now we're in the Seller Hub. Go to the Store tab and go to Subscriber Discounts. Oh, it's going to make me log in, even though I was already logged in. So Subscriber Discounts. Continue. Here we go. And once you're in Subscriber Discounts, it's right there. It says eBay shipping supplies, $50 coupon with a premium store subscription towards purchases from the eBay shipping supplies store. Each coupon is limited to 1 use per quarter. Click on see details. There's your coupon. I'm just going to copy and paste. So let's start shopping. Sounded like the B-52s a little bit there. As big as a whale. So the box that I use, oh my gosh, they don't have just one box. Oh my God, I don't know which box I use. Oh, I'm going to have to get the tape measure out. Wow, they have a lot of boxes. They have bubble mailers. They have the 9.5 by 13 1/4. They have the 8.5 by 11. They have tape. They have thank yous. They have stickers. They have paperboard mail jackets. Oh, crap. Do they not have bubble mailers? No padding? Or is it the 8.5 that I get? No, I get the smaller ones. Oh, there's more. Oh, but wait, there's more. There's only 33 items. So let's see. There we go. 6.5 inch by 9 1/4 inch padded bubble mailer. That's what I get. So I have a $50 coupon. Let's see. And I think I end up paying a little bit because how many do I get? So 100 envelopes appears to be $35. I get 200. So I have to pay like $15 on top of my coupon. So there you go. That's where you find your store coupons. Mark says, I loved Schwarber for the 2 months the Red Sox had him. Baseball card curmudgeon, the manager for Team USA was weak. D-Row, former Cub Mark DeRosa. No stealing, hit and runs, and poor lineup choices. Japan's manager was the difference. Japan plays team baseball while Americans and managers don't. Yeah, and D-Row was kind of maybe somebody more familiar can explain why he was selected as the manager. I thought that was a weird choice. I mean, I guess you don't want like a current manager because they're managing their major league teams in spring training, but like a retired manager, or I'm just curious why Mark DeRosa. That's kind of a weird. You pull him off the MLB TV set and put him in the dugout. It's weird. Let's see. Red Light 34 asking Victor if he got the email. John says we were warned how soccer was going to take over back in the 70s. Okay, so it predates what I remember because I wasn't alive in the 70s. So soccer's been the next sport for 50 years. Terry says I used my last eBay coupon for those stiff brown envelopes. They work great for multiple card orders when shipping first class package rate. Victor's checking his email. Jenny says actually locally here, I know more people that attend soccer than baseball. That's interesting. See, Madison, we have a Madison soccer club, I think is what they call teams in the football realm. Forward Madison. That's where actually Weezer, the concert Weezer is playing in Madison, is at the field, the soccer field, the football field. Talking Tatis, what's up? Good morning. I just started my eBay store. Where do you get the supply coupon with the store? Thanks, Craig. It's if you just heard, let me know. If you didn't hear me, I'm behind in the chat. Let's see. Jenny says, Bo, you're missing my point. I was trying to say when you find yourself with a few moments instead of playing on the phone, organized under the stairs, you'll be productive that way. Michael Renicky, what's up? Good morning. Low Roller Scratcher, he's here. He says, I'm selling a lot of wrestling cards, but look how many baseball cards I'm selling. I've sold way more baseball cards. So I am selling baseball cards. I have to list more baseball cards. Red Light says, I have an eBay question. I only get 250 listings free. How can I get more? Great question. eBay store. So let's see. Go to the help tab, and you can actually break this down. Somebody actually asked me this, I think at the Madison Card Show on Saturday. Had a question about, when should I get an eBay store? Which is a wonderful question. It's a great question. eBay store. I can help. I can't answer the question for you, but I can help you I can guide you to the answer. But ultimately, each individual who's thinking about it has the answer. So we want to open an eBay store. So there's different levels. So we're going to choose a store subscription. So there's, let's see, 3, 5. There's 5 different store subscriptions. So there's the starter store, which is $5 a month if you subscribe for a year, or it's $8 a month if you just want to do it on a month-by-month basis. By the way, if you do the year and decide after 3 or 4 months you could get charged either a termination fee or hell, they might charge you the entire subscription. I don't know. Because here's the thing. They don't charge you. Say you want basic. I would not recommend the starter store. I would say go first to the basic store because you're going to get more perks with that. I think it's worth more than pissing away $8 a month or $5 a month. So basic store, it's $22 a month with a 1-year plan, or it's $28 a month without. So if you choose like, oh, okay, well, I think I'm going to do a year, I'm good for a year. And after 6 months, you decide actually before we get to that point, it's $22 a month over the course of 12 months. They don't charge you 22 times 12, whatever that comes out to be. They charge you monthly. So you get billed each month, like the first of the month, 15th of the month, whenever it might be, $22. But after 6 months, you decide, I don't want this store subscription anymore, and you cancel. An early termination fee could apply. I don't know what that is, but just be cognizant of that. So let's go to the basic store, which is what I would recommend. If you're not a store subscriber, I would recommend just jumping into the basic store. $22 a month for a 1-year plan. What do you get with that basic store subscription? You get 1,000 free insertions per month. You also pay a little bit less if you go over that amount, 25 cents as opposed to 30 cents without. In your final value fee, I think you do have a slight discount on final value fees with the basic store. Let me see. So starter store looks like it's like 13.25%. They did raise it recently. So basic does get you the so you save about 1%. Yeah, almost 1%, almost a full percent on final value fees with the basic store versus a non-store or a starter store. So basic, premium, anchor, and enterprise all have a 12.35%. And then it's variable after 2,500. Plus your transaction fee. We all know about those damn transaction fees. So, but I think you also get additional listings, and I wish eBay's help page had a breakdown. I have to go to multiple pages to figure out some of these different, or is this? Nope, that's fees, benefits, summary. Okay, so it doesn't, that's just fees. Fees. But I do know on the, so basically, what was the question? How can I get more? So that's how you get more. Subscribe to, and I would say go to the basic store first, and then scale up from there. And I would not recommend getting that store subscription until you approach that equilibrium of, okay, what are my benefits? How much am I saving in fees? But if you're getting close to 250 listings, just go ahead, pull the trigger if you plan on continuing to list. If you feel like you're going to hover around 250 to 300 listings, I would say don't bother. But if you do plan to scale up and go to 300 and 400, then I would say subscribe to the eBay store. Jenny says math is hard. Continuous action 45-minute halves are boring to Americans, yet 3.5-hour games with very little action are awesome. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Let's see. I think hockey sucks also, and hockey's even more action filled than soccer. Jenny to Talking Tatis. I think if you go under the help and contact on top of eBay, kind of in the middle, and then type in store subscriber coupon, it will pull up the link. Low Roller says I sold 8 wrestling cards today. Yeah, I accepted offers on those just this morning. Rich says we are less than 20% likes. There's Uncle Rich. Hit that like button. Cheesehead Treasures. That's a really good question. I do need to reach out because 79 Tops football, it's weird because I have a lot of 79 Tops football and it's terrible at recognizing that set. I don't know the answer to it. It also doesn't recognize any Leaf products. And I'm not talking like Brian Gray Leaf cards. I'm talking like 91 Leaf cards, 90 Leaf cards, any Leaf cards. Card Dealer Pro does not recognize. It's bizarre. I understand why Card Dealer Pro doesn't recognize Topps archives because it's players that may have been in that. It's old designs. I get it. But Leaf and 79 Tops football, it's so bizarre. I'm a new user and found that the AI can't find any of this year. It works great with all the other years I have uploaded. Yeah, and I don't know why. I also learned that the hard way. I had a stack of 79 Tops football, and it's like, Jesus, I have to type everything out because the AI doesn't recognize any of these cards. Red Light 34 says, I have a lot of wrestling cards I need to list. There you go. Let's see. Cooter says, with American football moving towards flag football rules, will its popularity wane? Yes, absolutely, 100%. It's not the same game that we grew up to love. I get it for safety reasons, but it's just not as fun anymore. Flipping Sports Guy says the random $1.50 cards that sell right now, I list them all. And last night, a John Freeze football card sold. Yes, and I'm going to talk about that. Let's just talk about it now. Listing junk. Okay. So this is something I constantly battle with. I have constantly battled with, especially with Card Dealer Pro. Do I just list a whole bunch of junk? The answer until this point has been, sometimes. Because sometimes I do, sometimes it's like, I want to list things because my ultimate goal, listing cards on eBay, is not to have the most listings. It's to have the most sales. Actually, I don't care about if I have the most listings or the most sales. I just want to have a comfortable living selling baseball cards and wrestling cards. So my thought process was, the goal is to sell, not to list. More sales comes with more listings, with an asterisk. Okay. When my daily sell-through rate is around 0.35%. And a lot of that has that daily sell-through rate has declined. And most of that is because of what I'm listing. It's not because the market is in the dumps. It's what I'm listing. 82 Topps singles, 79 Topps singles, commons. Those aren't going to sell. Where when I had 3,000 listings and my sell-through rate was 1.2% back in September of 2021, it wasn't because the market was high and mighty. It was because I only had 3,000 listings and they were really good listings. Hot names, hot prospects, not big cards, but popular cards that would move. As I continued to scale up, and then when I found Card Dealer Pro, it's like, I can list 100, I can list 1,000 cards, 1,500 cards in a day while I'm shipping, while I'm moving boxes around, and still do it. Where back in the old days, I would list 50 in a day. And it's like, Jesus, I feel like I've been listing cards all day. But I listed 50 good cards as opposed to 1,500 98 Bowman commons, 82 Topps singles, and all that. So that's the biggest reason why my daily sell-through rate has dropped considerably. If I continue listing, if I adjust my strategy to listing like I did yesterday, my sell-through rate is going to continue to drop. And it's not going to be 0.35%. It might be 0.15%. And I came to the realization yesterday, that's okay. Somebody that's in this chat reached out to me because I made a comment yesterday about, I just don't want to list a bunch of commons. Now, the commons do sell. Okay. I think out of the 98 Bowman, I think I sold 2 or 3 cards already out of 200 that I listed. Which I was surprised by that. But I didn't want to list, and it was kind of, I'm like battling this in my own brain. I don't want to list a whole bunch because I'm going to be busy, super, super duper busy in the month of April. And I don't want to be scaling my store up and going from 120 sales per day to 150 sales per day because I've got all this other stuff going on. But at the same time, I don't want to let my eBay store go dormant and not list anything because that will hurt the long run of my store, and my list, everything's going to be suppressed by eBay's search algorithm. So I want to continue to list stuff and sprinkle in some good stuff like Julio Rodriguez and Jordan Walker and Jason Dominguez, along with those 98 Bowman and 82 Topps. So I had this little conversation, and I really got to thinking. It's like, you know what? I can catch up on my shipping today, and I can list a bunch. Why don't I just list? I haven't listed much in the month of March because I was in Arizona. So that's what I did. And if my sell-through rate takes a hit, that's okay. And that's actually what I want at this time. Not saying my ultimate goal is to continue to make sales, but it's kind of like you have to turn like PSA, like, hey, we just have to, you don't want to just stop like PSA had to do. But you want to put controls in place. And so this is a control. While I'm still within eBay and I'm listing cards and listing cards and listing cards, it's a control where I'm not listing popular cards that are just going to move in 24 to 48 hours. Next week, I might sell 7 or 8 cards out of that 82 Topps set. I might sell a few Bowman cards. And that's great because, the fun thing is which cards will sell first, and I think out of the 98 Bowman, it was some random, and it was like, I think it was the complete set because I had to pull Cubs cards out of it. So I didn't adjust it. But let's go to my sold, and whatever card sold, the first card that sold out of 98 Bowman it was like a surprise. So that's kind of my strategy moving forward here over the next month to 2 months as we prepare the house sale here and get the new house going, finished up. So let's go 1998 Bowman. So just for an example, what sold out of my 98 Bowman listings. So it looks like just 2 cards sold. Ken Griffey Jr. and the other one, Fernando Tatis Sr. So those were what sold out of my 98 Bowman. So that was my hesitancy, but when I broke it down, and I'm going to break down when it comes to volume sales, we're going to do some math this morning. And you take a pause and actually think through things. I don't often do that. Just like sometimes I'm dismissive. No, I'm not going to do that. And then when you just shut your mouth and listen and think it through, it might actually work. Kevin says, first beer I legally purchased was Guinness Extra Drought or something like that. I couldn't even drink it after tasting it. Went back and bought Coors Light. I remember the first time I had a Guinness, and I don't even know if I was 21. Shh. One of my friends who's a little more worldly than I had Guinness, and I'm like, oh. Now it's like, ooh, Guinness. Good. Kyle says, Americans seem to want to see people get physically hit or punched. That's actually, we do. We kind of do. And when I say we, it's a generality. NFL and UFC are huge. Baseball is too much finesse and skill. Seems to keep Americans interested. Let's see. Where are we at? Low Roller said something. I'm not sure. So I'm way behind in the chat. Let's see. You need to use variations if you're running out of free listings. John says that would make sense, Kyle, if Americans were in love with hockey. Rich says Bo is 100% correct on the ComC on eBay comments. Excellent. Cooter says, what self-respecting Cubs fan who grew up listening to Harry would buy anything but a Bud for a first beer? There you go. There you go. Maybe that's why. Harry was dead when I turned 21, but I still grew up a huge fan of Harry Carey, the Bud Man. Cub fan, Bud Man. Flipping Sports Guy, I've noticed at times that the perceived lowball offers tend to be around 60 to 70% of comps, with the shipping cost factored in. Let's see. Herman in the house. What's up, Herman? John says they have a studio in Madison, lots of grunge recorded. Yeah, it was Smart Studios, which is no longer. That's where the Pumpkins recorded. The Pumpkins kicked off I think it was their 30th anniversary tour here in Madison. Because that's where they recorded. Let's see. Great producer, Zach and Porter. What's happening? Not sure where to find that on eBay. Duke Erickson. Thank you, Duke Erickson. Let's see. I bought Joe Burrow on ComC for 50 cents, then sold for 85 cents a few days. I made 30 cents profit on ComC. Love the Edwin Starr reference. Red light, I wouldn't recommend variation listings. They move way slower. Buyers like me won't bother looking at variation ones because usually it's sold out who I want. That's actually a really good point. I don't like variation listings, and that's kind of why I stopped using variation listings as a seller. I've been 2022 Prism Draft Baseball just came out, and there's a couple players for the Cubs that don't have other cards, Daniel Palencia and Riley Martin. And so I've been looking for Palencia more so than Martin. And when I see a variation, it's like pink velocity. And so I clicked on it and I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. It's like, I don't want to waste my time. So that's coming from me as a buyer, just like Jenny. She doesn't like looking through variation listings as a buyer, nor do I. So that's why I would not recommend variation listings. I can list, say I have 282 top singles. I can list those as singles with pictures using Car Dealer Pro and my feed scanner much faster than it would take me to compile variation listings. Now, I know not everybody has a feed scanner and uses Car Dealer Pro. And if you're up against the wall and I also have plenty of free listings to use up before I hit my 60,000 for my store subscription. But if you're up against the wall and you want to utilize, say you only have 250 and you have a set, I certainly wouldn't recommend it for like players. Like I would not recommend like Jose Canseco. I would not recommend having a Jose Canseco pick a card listing with 88 tops, 89 tops, 90 tops, 91 tops, 91 Fleer, all that. I would not recommend that. But if you have 2021 Bowman or first Bowman or Mega Box refractors and you're up against the wall, then maybe that's the way to go. Card Hobbyist says, at what size order do you go ahead and bulk ship them in a bubble mailer instead of a PWE? That's a great question, and it's not a black and white answer. It's kind of a gray area. Depends. It depends on the size of the order and the dollar amount of the order. So typically I don't ship. I'll go up to 12 cards in 4 card savers. I use the card saver 1, so you can fit 3 cards comfortably in a card saver 1. And then I use 3-ounce postage for that. It's under the 1/4 inch thickness and it's under 3 ounces. But if those 12 cards, if they're $1.50 cards at 12, then there's a 25% discount. So it comes out to be whatever it is. But say they were like 10 cards or even 3 cards at $10. I will ship that in a bubble mailer. Basically, any orders over $20 or any orders over 12 cards will go into a bubble mailer. So it's a little bit of both volume and dollar amount. Rich is off. Thank you, Uncle Rich. Have to get ready for 2 back-to-back doctor's appointments this morning. Good luck. Nothing serious. That's good. Zach says, what is the proper eBay protocol? Receive someone's check in the mail first or ship them their tapes? Let's see. John says, pro tip, some of us bookmark the seller page. There you go. Low Roller is talking about ComC. Jenny says, have a great day, Rich. Thanks. I have a $25 store coupon available. There you go. Amazing how I can only buy stickers and thank you cards with my $25 coupon. It used to be, you used to be able to buy a full something with your $25 or $50 coupon. Now, they've strategically made it like I don't think I have the window up, but if I want to buy, I have a $50 coupon. This is smart on eBay. I have a $50 coupon to use. I can buy 100 bubble mailers for $35. But then what am I going to do with the other 15? And I think you can only use it, like you have to use, what can I get for 15? Nothing. So then I buy 200 bubble mailers. And guess what? I have to pay an extra $15 because it's $62 and change for 200 bubble mailers. They get you. But still paying $15 for 200 bubble mailers, not too shabby. Zach says DeRosa shouldn't have been coaching a Rock and Jock game. Let's see. Talking Tatis. Thanks, Bo. You covered it, and I shop for supplies now. Awesome. Jerry Manuel was the bench coach. I'm not even sure who the bench coach was. Let's see. Isn't wrestling every week and multiple nights a week? Yes, it is. Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night NXT, Friday night SmackDown, a freaking pay-per-view every month. Harlan says, if you had to pick only one, would you get a feed scanner or a thermal label? Oh, without question, thermal label printer, 100%. Now there's a big price. Well, I think thermal label printers, the one I use has like doubled in price since I bought it a couple years ago. And right now you could buy a feed scanner refurbished for around $300, which is what a new Brother QL 1100 thermal label printer is going to cost. I would totally 100% without question between those two would buy a thermal label printer without question. Steph, what's up? My wife asked me to stop singing Wonderwall and I said maybe. John says insertion fees are the thing to avoid. Don't pay to list something that might not sell. Exactly. And that's what keeps me from ComC. Flipping Sports Guy says soccer is huge in the Philly area. A lot of kids have left baseball, softball to play spring soccer to continue prep for the fall. Jenny says technically the insertion fees are paid no matter what. It's just with the store you get those fees down. Instead of 30 cents per listing, it's a fraction per listing or whatever the math really is. Yes, agreed. Because you're basically paying for free insertions. But you also, say you take advantage, you're spending $60 a month on a premium store, you get 60,000 listings. If you're using all of those listings, it's a fraction of a penny. MLS team, the Union is consistently sold out and building huge training facility for youth around their stadium. Yeah, here in Madison, I think they sell out the local team as well. But our baseball, like we have a college Wood Bat League, the Northwoods League, and there's like 8,000 fans on a random Wednesday night. They're not there to watch baseball, though. They're there to party. It just happens to be in a baseball game. Let's see. Jenny says that's based off the store subscription fee, and you get perks like the coupon, which put those fees down more. Dan in the house, what's up? Good morning, all. Hit that like button. I had a good success selling 280 to 450 starter sets from 68 to 75 at auction that I'm dropping off at the post office right now. Very nice. After my big eBay store purge, I built back up to 27,000 and growing. Colin in the house, hockey cards is where the money is. And I know nothing about hockey. And I stay away from it. Maybe that's not wise, but I stick to my lane. John says, if you pull your cards off of eBay, then you will have paid no insertion fees. Let's see. Talking Tatis says, went with the 6x8 hard mailers, 100 for $5. Robert says, yesterday was the first day since I promoted my listings. I have less than 200 that I didn't sell a single card on eBay. Wow, that sucks. Jenny says Card Dealer Pro will also not allow you to put Leaf in the title and save it. It will auto delete it. You have to put Leaf Inc. and then it will let you save it. I did not know that. That's interesting. If you pay insertion fees up front, then that money is gone forever, whether you sell or not. That's a good point. Card Dealer Pro is recognizing 2023 Series 1 baseball at a high rate. Excellent. Brian M., what's up? What do you think is junk is another person's card they haven't found yet? That's a good point. Let's see. Jenny says to John, I mean, you're paying insertion fees in your store subscription because that's kind of why you have the store. That's true. That's true. It's not an actual insertion fee, but it's a store subscription fee. So you're still paying an insertion fee, but it's a fraction of a penny, and you are paying it with that subscription. Let's see. Flipping Sports Guy says, where are we at? Every time I list from a bulk purchase, my sell-through rate jumps because it's quality listed stuff. Absolutely. When I list my junk wet 13AA, this tab, and this has been on eBay for, I don't know, a month now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cards remain in that tab. And there were 100 to start. So I've sold 85% of that listing in less than a month. Less than a month, because it was right before I went to spring training. So in about 3 weeks, 85% of those cards sold from my Goodwill junk wax bonanza. Dan says, how has your success percentage been when you do an upload of batch to eBay? Are you seeing a higher number of failed uploads versus completed uploads done in the past? From Card Dealer Pro, no, I'm not seeing. The only time I get failed uploads is when I go over the 80 character limit. So what I try to do, and sometimes I don't always do this, but I'll count out the characters on a line, and okay, this is 75 characters, so this is about where I need to stop. I do know Card Dealer Pro is like planning on, and they may already have it if you don't export the spreadsheet to where it won't allow you, kind of like in eBay. It's like, nope, you don't have any characters left. You can't type any more in. And you might be able to do that within Card Dealer Pro's website, but not when you export the spreadsheet. I export the spreadsheet and then do all of my updates in there. I just find it easier to work with. Maybe it does slow me down just a bit because I have to count characters. But that's okay. Flipping Sports Guy says, I think I've only had 2 uploads ever fail. And yeah, I don't have any like actual like full uploads fail. And if I do, one of the reasons is you'll have to refresh your eBay screen. And I've noticed that where it will fail, but it's because my the eBay like timed out or whatever. So I have to refresh that what screen is it? Uploads? Reports. Yeah, reports uploads. Let's see. I turned off all offers on $1.50 cards. Ooh, Flipping Sports Guy. We're going to stop there. We're going to stop there because that's a bad decision. Bad decision. And Terry says, I recently turned off best offers on my lowest price cards. Bad. I do not recommend that. I added the same cards to a new promotion, buy more, one and save, was getting tired of all the lowball offers for single card sales. Here's why. I listed, this is a great point to go into my next point. Yesterday I listed some Bowman from my big Bowman bulk purchase in Janesville. I listed, I think, 18 total 2022 Bowman Draft Jordan Walker cards. $1.50 free shipping. Quantity listing, 18 total. And I sold like, right off the bat, I sold like 3 or 4, like within 10, 15 minutes. Then I had an offer. Somebody wanted to pay $1, but he wanted 12 of them. And I'm like, man, these are selling at full price. I'm not going to take this offer. But guess what? It's silly of me not to. Why? Let's break it down. 12 cards at $1 is $12. That's easy math. I'm paying 12%. It's actually, I think I did the fees a little bit wrong. It's 12.35%. So I'm paying roughly $1.45 in final value fees on that $12, and maybe a little bit more because I don't know what taxes they paid. It's whatever the total price was. It's free shipping, so we don't have to worry about that. It's in one transaction, so there's only 30-cent transaction fee. I'm going to ship those 12 cards in 4 card savers, which set me back 6 cents each. That's 24 cents for the card savers. My My penny sleeves are 50 or a half a cent each. So that's 6 cents on penny sleeves. I'm going to pay a penny for the label. And my envelope was 3 cents. Postage, it's going to be 3 ounces. So that's $1.08. So my net profit on that transaction was $8.84. That comes out to be 74 cents per card. But wait, I can get $1.50 if I sell 12 of them. That's $18. And here's where we kind of sometimes, and not all of us, but even I who does this every day, fail to remember the math. So $1.50 times 12, $18. Well, that's more than 12, right? Wrong. Well, right on gross, wrong on net. We're going to have higher final value fee because it was a higher dollar sale. So our total is going to be $2.16. Transaction fees, there's going to be 12 transaction fees. If we sold 12 of them at full price, that's $3.60. We're going to have to use more card savers because we're going to have 12 separate transactions. So that's 12 as opposed to 4. So that's going to be 72 cents in card savers. We're going to have the same price on penny sleeves because we're still going to penny sleeve all 12 cards. That's 6 cents. I'm going to have to print out 12 labels, and those are a penny a piece. So now we're at 12 cents on labels. Let's see. What was that price? 36 cents. Oh, envelopes. So it's not going to be one envelope. It's going to be 12 envelopes at 3 cents each. That's going to be 36 cents as opposed to just 3 cents on the bulk purchase. And then our postage, it's only going to be 60 cents per envelope, but we have 12 of those at 60 cents. That's $7.20. So as you see from the transaction fees and the postage, that's more than 50% of our gross sale. So our net profit is going to be $3.78. Whoa, that's a lot less than $8.84. That puts our average sale. So I think I've been misquoting my. If I sell a single card at $1.50 free shipping, it's 32 cents roughly. And that's usually variable depending on the price of supplies I get. So 32 cents roughly per card. So I'm like, oh shit, I better go back before I sell any more of these at full price. I want to take that dollar offer. That's why I leave those offers open. If I didn't have offers open, I would have $1.50 and I might sell all 12 of them, but I'm costing myself just on those cards $5. And that adds up. So that's why I would recommend leaving offers open. I know it gets frustrating when you get, because most offers aren't somebody wanting to buy 20 different cards or 12 of the same cards. I know, I get it. I see it every day, over and over and over and over and over again. $1 offer, $1 offer, $1 offer, $1 offer on a single card. It's a different buyer each time. I get it. But what's the opportunity cost? The opportunity cost is not having these types of offers come in, or somebody that wants to buy 40 cards at $1 each. And you lose a lot of money by not having those offers open. So let's see. Where are we at? Dan says flipping sports. That's awesome. I see about 5 to 6% fail recently on uploads and not sure why it happens. I'm not sure why either. Flipping says my couple fails were on cards that had multiple players for exceeding player and team allowed characters. Yes. Yep. That's another one. I get that a lot, like on the 82, rookies where, I just put one player in I try to pick the most famous of the 3. If it's a multiplayer rookie card. Jenny says, Dan, I wonder if it's a repeat title or double listing. Let's see. Dan says, I don't think so, but right now I just kind of accept it that a handful fail when I do a mixed 100 card upload. You can also download the report, Dan, to see why it failed. And so I had like 20 fail yesterday because they all went over character because I wasn't paying attention. And so I had 20 fail because of the character limit. And that's when I have like single cards within an upload fail, it's almost always It's probably 90% of the time it's because I went over the character limit. The other 10% of the time it's what somebody mentioned, Flipping Sports Guy mentioned, when there's multiple players in the player field. Let's see. Red Light 34. I love it when he reads chat. It's hard to watch chat well in the crane. Let's see. Kevin says a good question to answer for newer sellers would be about sourcing and what people are willing to pay for cards when sourcing. We could do a whole episode on that. Maybe I will later this week, because that's a rabbit hole. There's just so many ways to source. And I get that question a lot, like, especially at the card show, like, how do you know what to buy? And it's like, usually I don't unless I'm there, like, or if the price is low enough, if I see it on Facebook Marketplace and it's a low enough price, I'll take the gamble, like a Goodwill pallet. And now there's precedent that I know, even on a crappy pallet, I'm going to make money. So sometimes it's trial and error, but I could go into, I'll have to, before I would really go down that rabbit hole, I want to write down a few thoughts on how I approach it. Let's see. So I'm going to write that down. Where's my, I don't have a whiteboard pen. Sourcing. Better write it big so I don't miss it. Sourcing. All right. Where are we at? Let's see. I wonder if you could set the title spreadsheet section to a certain size that would be 80 characters so you could see the limit easier that way. I'm sure there is. Card Dealer Pro does show when you have too many characters, it highlights the box in red. And I think that's within the website, which I don't use. I export the spreadsheet and then work out of the spreadsheet. You can do a validation check using the lens cell command in Excel to make sure nothing is over 80 characters. Ooh, that's good. I'm going to write that down. Write it down. Where's Brian Dean? Write it down. Where's that? Len cell command. I took multiple Excel classes in college, and there's so much you can do with Excel. And I forgot most of it. Let's see. Flipping says, I always send offers, though, when they show as watchers. I've noticed a trend of declining a $1 offer, and they instantly buy at full price. U.S. Sports Cards Dan says, I'm running a bit behind on Shab, but I bet I am failing with the 80 characters. I want to slap people making dollar offers on free shipping listings. Guinness is phenomenal. LRS is what we call a variation. I kept commenting because I had to pause for a work call. I have so much to say. I'll say it to myself. So that's what I had for today. Thank you for the questions. Did I hit everything? There were only 3 things on my list. I wanted to break down the, because that was something that I didn't. It's like, why would I sell 12 of these at $1 when I could sell 12 of them for $1.50? Well, when you break down the fees, you make significantly more selling at $1. I talked about listing junk. I didn't touch on organization, so we'll shelve that for a rainy day. So the my eBay store is link is in the description to this video. I listed over 1,300 items to my store yesterday. So I'm back over 32,000 active listings. Getting close to 33,000. Probably hit that today. Harlan still doesn't know how to scale. We'll shelve that for a rainy day. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. I will be live both Saturday and Sunday this week. What else is going on? Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. And that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in and have a great Wednesday.